On today's show,
we discuss what the Sixers are doing with Markelle Fultz and why John Wall plans to show Lonzo Ball no mercy.
Can we expect more of sharp-shooting Aaron Gordon? And how will Sacramento receive Big Cuz?
And in Crossfire, we debate the better Blake dunk, on Randall or on Rudy.
It's Wednesday, October 25th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV, a little bit later on YouTube, listening to the podcast, it doesn't matter. We're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tas Melis.
Thank you for joining us.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over yonder, it's the bearded one, it's Trey Kirby.
Hey,
yo! TK, what's up?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters. And guys, last night, the Blazers beat the Pelicans thanks to 14 big fourth quarter points from CJ McCollum, who was just pulling shots out of nowhere late in the shot clock, really saving the Blazers when they need some buckets. He ended up with 23, and there's a lot of tough shots. He was so good that he earned some tweets praising him for his ISO performance, to which CJ responded, "It's the mustache. It gives me powers." And as a guy with a beard that gives him special powers, I totally get it. And it brings us to today's question: what other NBA special powers exist? For instance, I'm pretty sure that JaVale McGee's rat tail is what turned him from NBA journeyman into NBA champion. Giannis Antetokounmpo, when his jersey comes untucked, he gets even better at scoring. And Lee's relaxed fit denim give him the ability to pull off dribble moves that none of us have ever even seen before. We're talking deep lunges, we're talking back and forth, we're talking almost limbo moves. We saw this one last night. We're like, what are you doing? We all got our phones out and took pictures. That was a good time. Hey, stop it, man, stop it. We want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter what other NBA special powers exist, and are you better at dribbling than Lee is? Send us your best tweets at #TheStarters. We'll hear from you later. Stop it, Lee!
That's a great meme. That's a great meme right there, the waiting meme. Just waiting for something.
Just trying to get into the game. I got next. All right, we got a fun show lined up tonight. Trey's going to put the belt on
ready,
the
Coach.
line. He's going to put the belt on the line in Crossfire. We'll discuss Aaron Gordon's career night, and Lily here's got a VSP. But first, we're playing Is This News? It's been a while. Trey's rounded up some recent NBA headlines. He's going to pitch them to us, and we'll determine whether or not they're actually newsworthy. Trey, what's our first one?
Our first headline comes from Yahoo Sports, and it reads, the 76ers shut down Markelle Fultz and his ailing shoulder for the next 3 games. Is this news?
I think this is news.
I agree.
Because regardless of how long he's out, whether it's a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I think there's a tiny bit of a divide between what's happening within the front office and what's happening with Markelle Fultz, because we're getting different messages. Brian Colangelo said today that maybe the change of the shot form caused the injury, while Markelle Fultz said a couple of weeks ago that no, the injury changed the shot form. Why is there 2 different messages coming from these 2 different parties? It's just not a good way to start off a guy's career. I don't think
because
it's going to fracture anything.
It always happens with the 76ers.
It's a bit of an issue, yeah.
It feels like every rookie they draft, there's always some sort of injury issue, and they either are just bad at getting their story out to the public, they're not transparent about it. I mean, we've seen it before, Nerlens and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and other guys even, like Michael Carter-Williams back in the day, and Jahlil Okafor. I can go on and on and on. It happens a lot with this team.
The problem is, though, he was obviously injured coming into the start of the season, and he shouldn't have been playing because we all saw that shot stroke, the mechanics, and there was something clearly amiss there. This is a guy who shot a lot of three-pointers in college, and he hasn't shot one in the NBA yet. So there's clearly something wrong. And with a rookie like this, especially the first overall pick, I think you have to be err on the side of caution and say, he's not right. Let's sit him out until he gets right, because this could have a longer impact on his rookie season if people are like, this guy can't shoot. They get into his head, and that could really affect his performance.
Yeah, maybe something psychologically happened to him or whatever, but the fact is he came out and said one thing. The organization is saying another thing.
His agent said contrasting things as well about having his shoulder drained, and then it was like, no, it wasn't drained. We actually put something in there. I mean, it's pretty difficult to mess that up, I would think, isn't it? Mm-hmm. If you have some fluid drained from your body versus someone inserting something into your body.
And the organization and Colangelo and everyone could have an issue with that and totally have a right to do that, but just come out and squash it and not necessarily come out with a different message today. That doesn't make sense.
And even just saying he's out for 3 games, I would think you might say right now he's out indefinitely. So that gives you 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or whatever you need, rather than 3 games. It's like, is everything going to be fixed in 3 days? Who knows?
But maybe the whole part, and I think it's sort of what Tass is saying too, it's like maybe the Sixers and their medical staff, they don't think he's as injured as he and his camp is saying how injured he might be. They're not meeting eye to eye on this.
Well, the good sign is that Colangelo said there's no structural problems and there's no actual
yeah, he said
to
don't
be
panic
worried
and the
about.
sky isn't falling. He says that today. I'm worried tomorrow they say he's done for the year. Because we've
that's
seen
what
this team
happened
do
with
this.
Embiid last year,
I
yeah.
mean, I pray that's not the case, but you wouldn't put it past the organization. They struggle with this sort of getting the news out, the narrative.
unfortunate.
They don't control it very well. So
And whether it's a number
very
one
odd.
pick or not, it's a rookie.
Right,
I mean,
right.
he's just come into the league. And that's the unfortunate part. You know, you don't want to be off on a bad foot.
All right, Trey, next headline.
Our next headline comes from the Washington Post, and it reads, LeBron James dazzles in rare start at point guard. Is this news?
No.
Not at all. He's been a point guard for 15 seasons.
But now it's official.
No, it doesn't matter if he's got the PG beside his name in the box score. He's been a point guard and one of the better point guards for crying out loud over the last 15 years. This isn't news at all.
I think this is actually the best position for him to play because he's your best player. He's got the best court vision. He's a great passer. He can shoot. He can back down any opponent at that position. So you may as well play him in that
Yeah,
position
but
all the
LeBron
time.
didn't change the way he played really
No,
last
I
night
know, but-
or again going to play point tonight than he has again over the last 15 years.
But I'm just saying that if you look at what the skills that you would expect a point guard to have, he has all of them in a power forward's body. So let's say he was matching up against someone like John Wall. It's like, well, he can back him down. He can beat him off the dribble. He can shoot. He can do basically everything. So that is probably his best position. But obviously you don't want him to handle the ball all the time. You have other guys to do that. But yeah, and it's no surprise that he went out there and just blitzed against the Bulls as well.
Well, the Bulls did a great job that first half scoring the ball. And the Cavs are the Cavs, the regular season
Yeah,
Cavs,
I
just
think-
allowing teams to score.
Yeah.
Just get really confident because they basically get every shot they want. And I thought this is a good point about this Cavs team and the way they're organized with Kevin Love at center. Steve Smith brought this up on Players Only yesterday, that Kevin Love is going to have to deal with a lot with fives and be that sort of back line of defense that we haven't really talked about. That's going to wear on him on the offensive end to some degree.
Right.
I mean, the defense isn't going to be as strong with Kevin Love at the 5.
Ty Lue talked about their defense, but I think it was more that they saw the Bulls.
They just chilled out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But with Kevin Love's offense, you have to. We're going to be watching that,
Sure.
right? I mean, he's got to be dealing with a lot bigger guys. I think it's going to be a bit of an issue. Good thing that came out of this for them, though, is Wade was good off the bench.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
absolutely
he
right.
was solid in his
I would say, too, maybe a minor newsworthy point of LeBron plays the point guard is that we've seen now that it didn't take long for maybe Coach Lue to have no trust in starting Jose Calderon at the point guard spot. They did against the Magic. They lost. Then he goes to LeBron right away. And it's interesting maybe because you've got the Derrick Rose injury. You've got Isaiah Thomas out for a while still. Does that help the possibility of them trying to make a move for an Eric Bledsoe? We've already talked about the possibility of maybe the Cavs trying to get him from the Suns. Maybe. Or maybe they just roll with LeBron James as your point guard and
don't-
Wade as your second point guard when he
There's
comes
so many point guards on this team. Do you go get another
Right,
one? I mean,
yeah.
Bledsoe and Isaiah Thomas didn't work at Phoenix. You got Braun. You got Wade. There's just so many ball handlers. I think there's too many to go get Bledsoe.
All right, Trey, final one.
All right, our final headline comes from Bleacher Report. It reads, John Wall says he'll show Lonzo Ball no mercy after Father LeVar's comments. Is this news? Is
What
this news?
part of it is news about LeVar trying to getting under someone's
Yeah,
skin?
LeVar Ball
Yeah.
part is not news, but it's exciting news. I love going into a game here with the Lakers and Wizards tonight, and you're going to be a lot more people will be tuning in to see, maybe just what John Wall means by that, the no mercy, and how Lonzo can handle himself. The teams are already going back and forth at each other, chirping a little bit. Gortat sort of got it all started after LeVar Ball's comments when he sent out the tweet saying, well, John Wall's going to light you up for 48 minutes, going to torture you. And you see it there. So, I mean, I love it because it's, again, I maybe wasn't going to tune into this game tonight. There's a lot of games on, but I sure want to see what
What's
happens.
interesting
Ball
about
is
that,
making
though,
it happen.
is the Lakers got upset with what March and Gortat had to say. But again, the problem is internal there with LeVar saying all these things. He's going to be saying it all season long. And someone like John Wall, the Wizards are on a season where they feel they're one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. They're going to go out there and really try to teach a lesson to these young guys, especially John Wall. He's a competitive guy. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants these young guys to know, listen, if someone's going to be talking trash to me, I'm going to make you pay for it.
Well, it's not young guys. It's young guy and Lonzo Ball, right? I mean, it's because LeVar is coming out with the headlines. I mean, Lonzo has a bit of a target on his back because of
a
it.
huge target on his back, which is unfair to him.
Do you feel sorry for him at all?
I do feel
Lonzo?
a bit sorry for Alonzo, yeah, because he's a rookie. It's in his 5th game. I think you would rather have the focus on him as a player rather than people saying, your dad said this about so-and-so, and now this guy's coming after you because of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do feel a bit sorry for him.
He's been used to it his whole life.
Yeah.
He deals with it really, really well.
Yeah.
And LeVar Ball is winning. I mean, you just said it. People are going to pay a little bit more attention to this game. People are going to pay a little bit more attention to that name on the back of the jersey. Few jerseys might get sold because of it. Few
There's no
shoes
doubt,
might
there's
get
no
sold
doubt
because
that
Yeah,
the
you just gotta
branding-
hope that John Wall doesn't put 40 on Lonzo Ball, puts him on a poster, and embarrasses him,
But-
like Patrick Beverly did.
Yeah,
Opening night.
as LeVar said, Lonzo never loses 2 games in a row. Will this be a bounce back game for him? I mean, he has dealt with it so well.
We will see. We will see, and we will be watching. There's no doubt about that. All right, gotta take a break. When we come back, Trey and I step into the crossfire to debate Blake Griffin's best dunk and a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere.
Wow.
Welcome to Crossfire presented by TISO. This is how it works. I'm going to give these guys 3 questions, and at the end of it all, I will declare a winner, and this is what they're playing for. The Starters Championship belt. Give it to me, give it to me. Okay, question 1, here we go. Last season, we didn't have a single head coach fired in the league. But this season, it took less than a week when the Suns canned Earl Watson on Sunday. A lot of coaches on that hot seat. So tell me, who will be the next coach fired? Here we go.
Gotta be Jeff Hornacek from the Knicks. He's kind of been on the hot seat since he was signed, it seems like. It seemed like Phil Jackson was gonna give him a little bit of cover the way he went out, but the Knicks started 0-3 after an 0-5 preseason. They've got the worst offense in the league. The defense isn't much better. The worst part, their players are saying they don't know the plays they're running. The guys are just running out there. They're playing lackadaisical. Not what you want to hear the first week of the season. Sorry, Jeff.
Pelicans coach Elvin Gentry has also been on the hot seat for what feels like a year and a half. The tush is toasty already. He's got to get this team to the playoffs. A little bit unlike the Knicks. The Pelicans are sort of expected to get to the
Most
playoffs.
def.
30 wins in year 1 under Gentry, only 34 last year. They've started 1-3. They're below average on offense. They're below average on defense. It's a very hot seat, unfortunately, for a guy I really like in Elvin Gentry.
Both very good choices. Okay, question 2. Blake Griffin has looked great through 3 games so far, leading the way for the Clippers. But which of his dunks has been the best? The one over Julius Randle last week or the one over the Stifle Tower Rudy Gobert last night? Let me hear it.
Tough pickings here, but I'm going to go with the one on Julius Randle. I think it was more aggressive than the one on Gobert. I think Blake got higher. It was angrier. Because the best part from the Gobert one, I believe, was maybe the celebration, the hanging on the rim. Actual dunk-wise, that one on Randle was huge. I go with that one.
Come on, dunking on Julius Randle's like dunking on one of us. He's got 69 career blocks. Nice. 214 for Rudy Gobert last season. It's got to be on
Gobert
Rudy.
didn't jump.
Exactly. Blake Griffin scared the best rim protector in the league from even trying to dunk because he was
No,
there in time.
that's just smart.
He took the best shot blocker we've got in the NBA and he turned him into Kyle Korver. We haven't seen a guy look this scared on defense in 10 years. Cowering from Blake Griffin, flying through the skies.
He's just smart. Can't get dunked on really if you don't jump.
Very smart. Okay, question 3. Halloween is just around the corner, which means trick-or-treating time. But what is the worst Halloween candy to get in your basket? Let's go!
I always hate getting bubble gum in my Halloween basket, and I'm still trick-or-treating at age 33. You know the problem? They give you trash bubble gum during Halloween. Bubble yum, double bubble. It gets hard fast. It loses its flavor fast. Give me that luxury gum. I want an Eclipse. I want an Orbit. I want some chocolate, anything but your
Still
terrible
gum, though. You're
gum.
right, and the flavor goes quickly, but it's still gum. Worse, candy corn. Candy corn sucks. It is terribly gross. I would rather eat a Tootsie Roll, a Necco wafer,
Necco wafer?
an apple with razor blades in it, because at least I get some nutrition before I croak. Candy corn is by far the worst candy that you get at Halloween. You never want that. Throw it away if they give it to you.
Candy corn's not even the worst wax-flavored candy. Those terrible pumpkins are the worst. Don't give me those pumpkins. Don't give me gum. I don't want any candy. Just kidding, I want all your candy.
Just said you go trick-or-treating. Which one is it?
winner and new
Oh, yeah!
Heavyweight Starters Champion of the world. You can't be trick-or-treating at 33,
Heavyweight.
my man.
Yeah.
Heavyweight.
33. No trick-or-treating.
The new champ is here. We got to take a break, but when we return, we'll discuss Aaron Gordon's career night and whether it's a sign of things to come. Come on back.
Heavyweight?
Welcome back to the Starters, where it's time to play a little fill in the blank fun. Trey, you got some questions. We'll do our best at filling in the blank.
That's right. Aaron Gordon was awesome for the Magic last night, and not just at dunking. He went for a career high of 41 points in a win over the Nets. He went 5 for 5 from 3, and he still threw down some hammers. Just for good measure. Guys, fill in the blank. Aaron Gordon's career night was blank.
What do you got?
The beginning question mark.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's in his 4th season now. He's shown us these flashes of his extreme athleticism before, but he hasn't really been able to put things together. This is only his 2nd game of this season, but those 5 3-pointers, 5 for 5. If a guy his size, 6'9", 6'10", is hitting those 3-pointers, his handle's improved immensely as well. He becomes a very, very important player for whichever team he decides to stay with. He could stay, obviously, with the Magic, but he'll be a restricted free agent this offseason.
Three-pointer looked smooth.
It looked good. It looked very comfortable.
Yep.
Very comfortable taking. He wasn't just like sort of at the end of the shot clock and he got a couple of shots up. He was looking really comfortable.
That's why I said gratifying, because this guy's been through 4 coaches in 4 years. He was playing the wrong position last year. He was playing with a bunch of big guys, so he had to play small forward. Now he's playing the power forward, so it just felt good. I don't know where it goes from here, but we know he's going up from here. He's a very, very talented guy. And finally, we're seeing the best Aaron Gordon, and he's only going up.
I just went within the flow because exactly what you were saying. When the defense gave him the 3, he looked confident shooting it. He obviously hit the big one late in that game, but when he got a smaller guy on him as well, be it Russell, sometimes it was Dinwiddie, he played a little bully ball with him, taking them down into the paint and getting by them. He got a lot of transition points because he's really good at that. So it was in the flow. It wasn't a forced career night from this guy, and hopefully one of many to come for him.
One thing about playing Brooklyn, though, it's sort of par for the course right now. They're giving up some big numbers. They gave up 41 to Vucevic. They gave up 140 to Indiana and 121 twice here. So if you want a good league pass team to see some scoring and some good offense on the other end, I think they're a pleasure to watch. But they play second fastest pace, and their D isn't all that great, so they're fun to watch.
There's a lot of buckets to go around. That's right. All right, next one, Trey.
All right, DeMarcus Cousins lasted longer in Sacramento than anybody thought was a good idea, including apparently DeMarcus, who recently told ESPN's Mark Spears that he was a fool for staying loyal to the Kings and that he should have left when he had the chance. He heads to Sacktown for the first time as an opponent tomorrow, so fill in the blank. Boogie's return to Sacramento will be blank.
I'm going by the book. Here's what I mean by that. Here's what I mean by that. He was no doubt a polarizing figure, I think, in Sacramento and, of course, around the league. But by the book in the sense that he's going to get a standing ovation, I believe, at the beginning of this game or when they give him any sort of video tribute, because that guy was huge in the Sacramento community. And he played hard when he played. I know he was a hot-tempered guy, but he played hard. He wanted to be in Sacramento, and then he said, of course, maybe I shouldn't stayed. I stayed a little too long. But then when he plays, then they'll boo him. That's
will they remember those contributions in the community at the start of the game?
I think they will. I think they will. I think they cheer him at the beginning, and when the game goes and he's on the other team, they boo him. And
even when he said he stayed there too long in his last day or so, do you think, like, as fans, we know fashion?
I think some Kings fans would agree with that.
Yeah, some would, but most fans are irrational, aren't they? They're like, he wanted out, he left, and now he's taking shots at our city.
Yeah,
that's my point.
The good thing is he got traded. It's not like he just got up and left. So that's why I agree. I mean, they are going to remember all the good things he did. So I think it's going to be emotional because he is a very emotional guy himself.
Oh,
he cried. Sure. He cried when he left. There's some tears shed. Pull out the Kleenex and watch this one because I think on both sides, it'll get emotional.
You think it's going to be tense?
Well, I just said tense because I think, I'm going with the fans being like, no, this ended in a bad way. He was a great player who's an all-star here, but things ended in an abrupt, rough way. And I think originally those emotions are going to come out. But if they do show a tribute video and they show him, playing with kids and doing all those community things, then fans will go, yeah, he wasn't such a bad guy.
What I think
We're in a good zone, though, with the Kings. For Kings fans, this is a good time. So I think they won't take it out as hard as if it was a very bad time.
All right, Trey, final one.
They should boo him. Personally, I think they should boo him. Anyways, there was a pretty funny moment after last night's Cavs game when Dwayne Wade and LeBron celebrated their win over the Bulls with an intricate handshake from their Miami days, followed shortly by Wade seeing Kevin Love and realizing they didn't have a handshake planned and just going with a straight-up standard handshake. Guys, fill in the blank. Wade's handshake with Love is blank.
Gentlemanly. Yeah, you don't need to have a fancy handshake with every single player on the team.
Oh, that's funny you say that, Lee, because my answer is what Lee needs to do. You got to get back just to the basic handshake, man. You're trying to be a little too cool for school.
Let's do one.
And a lot of time it backfires. Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
All these cool handshakes.
Nailed it.
There you go. All right, we're doing this one.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Just go with the handshake, man.
Come on.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one right there. The jumper.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Thanks to the Warriors fans for that. Yeah, they're great. But you just don't need to do it with everyone, you know?
I think they could do it a little bit better, though. That's why I said in progress. Because if you remember Steven Adams and Nick Collison, they've got this down on lock. You can just hang with it a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Wait it,
yeah.
wait it,
I like
wait
the
it,
stare.
wait it, wait it
Shorthead
out.
Steven Adams.
Wait it
Oh,
out.
yeah, that's Steven Adams?
Yeah.
That's good stuff there. You don't need to make it quick.
Yeah, I agree. If you're gonna do that type of handshake, yeah, just hold
Mean
it.
it. Mean it.
Just standing there.
All right, let's hear from you guys. Jump on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Fill in the blanks for those 3 questions from TK. After the jump, Lily hits us with the very solid play. Don't go anywhere. We always go into an NBA night hoping for buzzer beaters like Wiggins, and if we get them, you're going to want to catch them live on Crunch Time at 9 p.m. Eastern here on NBA TV. All right, we asked you earlier in the show, what other NBA special powers exist? Oh, back to this. You guys hit us up on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Trey, you got a few of the best answers.
Yeah, some good ones. This one comes from Joshua, who says, obviously the face masks, Kobe, Kyrie, LeBron, and many more. Guys do tend to play well in face masks.
Yeah.
Jay says, Manu's bottled spot gives him +2 speed and +3 acceleration on account of no wind resistance. My favorite answer, though, comes from Eric, who says, Iverson's shooting sleeve equals +1 pull-up, +2 crossover, and +1 million swag. Can't disagree.
Great answers, great answers. All right, let's, well, I don't want to do this, but let's look at last night's pick'em results. Everybody took the Clippers except me. Everybody was right except me. I'm already in a massive hole here in this short month, October. Tonight's pick'em play.
We all have the Nuggets, except
Yep.
for you.
Except for
I've
you
got the
again.
Hornets.
Oh, that's
You
a
have
good
the
move by you.
Yeah,
Hornets.
That's
they're
a
home
good
team
move.
Hornets.
All right,
It helps.
fantastic.
You can make up a game.
Yeah.
We got VSP time here.
Yes,
do it.
we do.
Yeah, we do.
And the real reason LeBron wanted to play point guard was to get himself a very solid play. And it worked. Here it is. Look at that. That's not it. Watch this. Bounce pass to a cutting Kevin
man.
Love. I honestly could have chosen 3 or 4 passes from LeBron last night, but I went with this one because it's beautiful. to
look at
bounce
This is
Catch.
sexy, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's lovely. That's what I call a very solid play.
That's a man with a new haircut, too. You're looking sharp, man. You're looking sharp. I believe we have some time for some fan signs.
And the first one of the season, it comes from guess who? The serial sign sender himself, self-defeating in Miami. The starters are ATL's finest. Yes, we are. Thank
Man
you
loves
very
his
much.
signs.
It goes us and then Outcast.
A very creative sign made by Dylan and his friends out in Kansas City. Actually, this was from the preseason. This one was made from pizza boxes donated from the concession
It was
stand.
made from garbage.
Yeah.
Straight up garbage. It was made from
Clean
garbage.
garbage, though. Clean, not
Cool.
used garbage.
Nice garbage.
Fantastic.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, everyone has to wait their turn. So stay ready like Lee Ellis does.
Brace the night, people.